Right, we're going to be painting a pirate picture today. In fact, we're going to be painting ourselves as pirates. That's the plan. And you're going to need a pencil, obviously paper. You're going to need a paintbrush, doesn't really matter. I've got a big fat one here, but you could use a thinner one if you wanted. Because I'm doing this on A3 paper, so it's quite big. So a fatter paintbrush is probably preferable. Later on, you're going to need like a black felt tip pen and a pair of scissors. You won't need those till the very last step. You're going to need a little pot or yogurt pot to put water in. You're going to need something to mix your paints in, like a palette. And then you're going to need 6 different colours of paint. You're going to need black and white. That's because we're going to mix our colours, make them darker with black and make them lighter with white. And then you're going to need primary colours, blue, yellow, red. And you're also going to need some brown. We could mix some brown up, but it'll be quicker just to have a brown there because there's quite a bit of brown hair and brown in the skin as well. That's all you're going to need today. Right, hello and welcome to our painting a pirate lesson. So our first lesson today is about drawing the outline of our pirate, and then we're going to paint just the skin tone in. That's all we're going to do today. So we need a pencil and we're going to need our 3 paints, which I'll tell you about in a minute. So the first thing you need to do is to draw a big egg shape in the middle of your paper. Doesn't matter if it's a bit squiffy, that's fine. Then you're going to draw a bit of a neck, and then you're going to draw the shoulders of your pirate. Now there's 2 ways we're going to do hats. We're going to do a bandana or we're going to do a hat. So if you're going to do a bandana, let's make this one have a bandana, then I'll show you how to do the hat. You just need to draw across the top of your egg like that. Draw a circle, and you can draw your 2 little ties. I'm just going to go over this with my pen to show you what I've done. So you wouldn't normally go over, this is just so you can see what I've done. There's my little side. I've got my neck and I've got my shoulders of my pirate. Now, if you're going to do a hat, I'll show you how to do that one. Let me swap my paper. Going to do the same thing, so we're going to have a big egg shape in the middle. You're going to have the neck, you're going to have the shoulders. Now for the hat, you're going to go across, maybe a little bit higher up than before. Go out from the sides a bit, like this. I'll show you with my pen because it's a bit difficult to see. Here's the head that we've done so far. Now don't worry because you're going to paint over this, so you're not going to see the top bit of the egg. That's going to turn into the face. So this is the bit I've done so far. And then I'm just going to make that bit go down like that. Okay, that's going to be a pirate hat. I've actually done that a bit smaller. I might make it a bit bigger than that, bigger later. This is just to show you what it's looking like. That's our first bit of the lesson done. Alright, so I've gone back to the pencil because you're not going to have the black lines yet and we will draw some in later, so I don't want to get confused. And you're going to need 3 different colours. So you're going to need some white, some red and some brown. And you're going to practice mixing up a skin tone. Now, you will know, of course, that everybody has different colour skin. So if you've got I've got a kind of peachy, pinky colour skin. So I'm going to need a little bit, I've got a bit of paint on me already, a little bit of red and a little bit of brown. So what I'm going to do is get my brown, start to mix it with my brush into my white. Get a little bit of red. You only need a teeny tiny bit. And then you should get, if you think that's a little bit dark for your skin, get a bit more white in there. I probably should have had more white to start with. And what you'll get is this kind of pinky peachy colour. And all you're going to do today is you're going to paint just your face, and then we're going to let that dry, because if you paint other bits on top of it, it will smudge it, and we want to do a really good job. So that's our pirate face, and we're going to let that dry probably for about an hour, or maybe come back tomorrow depending on the way you want to do it. If you want, you could put a little ear on that side as well. There you go. Right, I'm going to show you my other pirate. I'm going to use a different skin tone for that. Alright, so here's our other pirate, the one with the hat, and we're going to do a different colour skin tone for this one because we know everybody has different colour skin. I did the other one with their kind of light coloured, peachy coloured skin, but my children, my own children, they have a light brown skin. So for their colour, I would get some brown. I might need a tiny bit of red, or I might just need a bit of brown and white mixed together to make a nice light brown. Just dip your brush in there, keep mixing it around till you get it to be the right colour. Now, Mr. MC would need a bit more brown in there, but our children have this nice light brown colour. So we'll do this pirate as a light brown one. Okay, and then use your brush. You're just going to do the skin tone, and then we're going to let these dry. We're not going to put anything else on. And the neck obviously needs to be the same colour. There you go. If you want to put a little bit of ear on, you can. Don't do massive ones, because that's not what our ears look like from the front. The only little bulges there on the side. And then I'm going to let that dry and come back to them later. Right, when your painting has dried a little bit, you're going to put a nose on it, but I'm going to show you using my pen the shape of nose we're going to do. So in the middle of your face, you're going to do sort of a bit like an shape. And if you want, you can make that go up a little bit on either side. It's a little bit like a W with an extra bit in the middle, isn't it? So to do that, we're going to mix our paint again. So if you've let your face dry a little bit, then you go back. So this is the light colour skin tone. Now here's my colour that I mixed. Now I want to make it a little bit darker. So I'm going to add a little bit more red and a little bit more brown into that. Can you see it's a bit darker now? And then I'm going to, the same shape that I just showed you. So use a bit of a thinner brush maybe, it's a little bit tricky. And then up there, and we can use this colour as well to give ourselves a smile, or if you're going to be a grumpy pirate face, you can do a grumpy face as well if you want, that's fine too. That's going to be your smile down here. I'm going to do a smiley pirate. There we go. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing with our light brown pirate. Hold your horses. Right, here I am with my light brown pirate, so I'm going to make a bit of a darker colour. So get any paint that's left in your palette, make it a little bit darker. Doesn't need to be too dark, just making it a little bit darker so that it will stand out. There we go. Just add a bit by bit, mix it round and round. And I'm going to do the same shape, so it's that little, starts with a little Then you've got a bit of a curly cut on that side. Then a curly cut on the other side. Whoops, that was a bit wonky. And then a little bit up in the middle. And then we mustn't forget the smile down the bottom if you're going to be a smiley pirate. Okay, fab-a-doozy. Now these need to be left, really, that's the first lesson. So they can be left till the next day or the next week when you want to do more if you're doing this in class. Okay. Okay, so welcome to the second day of painting our pirate. You will see I've got in my palette some white, some black, some red and some blue. I've got some water for rinsing my brush, and this is important. I have some tissues for drying my brush. Now, if I'm at school, I just use paper towel, that's fine. But anything that will soak up some water to dry it in between. I'm struggling to get these all on the screen. I'll just pop that there for now. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do to our pirate is we are going to paint a white eye on. I know it looks a bit like a zombie, but if you look at your eye carefully, you have a white background to it. So an eye is a bit like an egg shape, but maybe you see it's like a bit like an egg, but maybe like a bit of a corner there. Right, that's all you're going to need the white for. So I'm going to do it on that one. Then I'm going to do it on the one with light brown skin. So here's my light brown pirate. You can guess where the eye is, can't you? So I've sort of done a bit of a pointy curly cut. And I'm going to do the other side. And I'm going to fill that in. If you start trying to paint all of the eye, then it all blends together and you don't get a very good eye. Okay, so I'm afraid they will look a bit freaky by the end of today. Now we're going to wash our brush in our water. And then this is important. We're going to dry our brush wherever you've got that will soak up liquid. Dry it. Paper towel, tissues, kitchen roll if you're at home, anything like that is fine. Now, obviously we've done one eye, and the other eye, because we're painting ourselves as a pirate, is going to be a patch. So you could do a circle first. And then if you wanted to, you could make it a bit like give it a corner up there. And then you could make it stretch right across, just kind of guess where it's going. Do it bigger than that if you want, that's fine. All right. And let's do the same on our other pirates. So the same thing, we kind of started with a bit of a circle, didn't we? I've got a small brush now because I changed to a small one to do the nose, but you can actually do this with a fatter brush. It'll be quicker. There you go. And then you want to be going all the way up so it touches onto where the bandana is and all the way down to the side of the head. I think that needs to be a bit bigger, don't you? Great. Now, this one doesn't need any more black on it for the moment, but our other one, which does have a pirate hat, we're going to paint black. So we'll switch back again. And I might switch onto my bigger brush. So I'm going to get my bigger paintbrush. And then all I'm doing is getting some black paint. And we're painting the whole pirate hat. I told you you'd paint out your pencil lines, didn't I? So it doesn't matter that they were underneath. You don't want any white gap between where the skin of your head is. You don't want any white along there, so make sure you go right down. You can go a little bit over if you want because it's dry, so it's not going to mix together. It's going to be a nice clean line. Okay, looking good. There we go. That is our pirate hat. The bandana, I'm going to show you what to do with in a second. There's our pirate hat. Right, let's go back to, let's move it down a bit so you can see the top of the hat. Brilliant. Let's go back to our other pirate for a minute. Now, if you remember how we mixed this skin tone up, we used some red, we had some brown that day, and we mixed it in with the white, and the white made the colours lighter, so we could get a colour like a light pink, peachy colour. Now, today we're going to practice making darker colours. That's why you've got the black, because the black is how you're going to make your colours darker. So you're going to choose a colour, either blue or red. Just don't switch it. We'll do one red and one blue. And you're going to make that colour darker by mixing some black into it. So you've already got black on your brush. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say we choose blue for this pirate. Let's turn this round. Here we go. I'm going to mix it in, and what will happen is I should get a nice dark blue. Can you see that? And then I'm going to paint my bandana a dark blue. So instead of having a black hat, he's going to have a dark blue bandana. If your colour accidentally gets a bit too dark, just add some more blue back into it. So that's why we don't want an actual black bandana like the pirate hat. We're going to have a colourful one. But we've made our paint darker. I'm going to paint the little knot at the side where you've knotted the handkerchief. Brilliant. Now I'm also going to paint my shoulders in the same colour. So I'm going to move up so you can see. And here's my piratey shoulders. And I'm going to paint them with my dark blue. Paint right down and take it right off the bottom of the paper. Cover up all the white that you can see. Okay, and that's what your pirate is going to look like. Now I'm going to switch over and do the other one in the dark red. Right, if you're doing this pirate with the black pirate hat, you've already painted that bit. So we just got to mix enough paint for the shoulders. So let me move that up. Move my tissue back down, and you've got red and you've got some black. So same thing, we're going to get our black. We're going to mix it into our red. We should start to get a nice dark... Whoa! Oh dear. Wasn't very good. Doesn't matter because we're going to cut that bit off later. A nice dark burgundy colour, and that's going to be the dark tone that we've mixed up for our pirate's shoulders. So the same thing. Perfect. So you've mixed white into brown to make the face. And now we've made this colour darker by adding black to it. And then that is the end of our art lesson for today. So we'll have to come back and see what the next step in our painting is. Okay, we're finally going to make our pirate not look like a zombie anymore. So today on my palette I have got black and white, I've got blue, yellow and brown. So we're going to do eyes, hair and a little bit of decoration with the white. So for the eyes, you're going to, right, this is going to be my one. So I've got blue eyes, so I'm going to paint a blue circle in the middle of my eye, like that, or yeah, circle should be fine. Can you see how that looks right now? You've got the white. Then I'm going to wash my brush, dry it on my paper towel or tissue, and I'm going to get a bit of black and do a black blob in the middle. If you look at your eye, you'll see, or the person's next to your eye, or yours in a mirror, then you'll see you have a black pupil inside. Now, I'm going to do the same for my light brown pirate. The light brown pirate has got brown eyes, so I'm just going to use brown eyes. So there's my brown. Whoops, that's a bit of a wobbly eye. Exactly the same thing. Put your black dot in the middle. Now I'm just going to show you something. If you have green eyes, it's unusual, but some people do have green eyes. We can make green. I'm just going to show you one here. I'm going to put a bit of yellow there. I'm going to get a little bit of blue. If I mix those together, there's my lovely green. So if you have a green eye, use your blue and yellow to mix together to make a green eye. It is quite unusual, but a few people do have green eyes. Right, the next thing we're going to do, now we've done our eyes, is the hair. Now my pirate, this one with light brown skin, is going to have black hair. So obviously, actually I might do a very dark brown hair. I'm going to use some black and some brown paint. And I'm just going to have it sticking out here, just a little bit, like that. This one's got short hair. Okay. Oh, one other thing that would be good to do is your eyebrow above your eye, like that. Right, I'm going to show you the same, but on my light skin one. There you go. Here's one with the pinky peachy colour skin. Now we've got, this was going to be me as a pirate, so I've got a light brown hair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bit of yellow and I'm going to mix it. In fact, let's do it over in the yellow, I think. Mix my brown into my yellow. Now, if you've got blonde hair, you can just use the yellow straight, that's fine. Or you can mix a bit of brown in it to make it more of a goldy colour. Or if you've got a light brown, mix it with the yellow like that and you'll get a... And also I've got long hair, so I'm going to have my hair coming out. Now, you don't want to do it over the top of your hat. So it's going to come out from under your hat. And if you've got long hair that comes down, maybe cover up your ears. There's my dreadfully attractive hair. Woo, what a stunner. There we go. Okay. Do it right down behind the pirate if you want. Because your hair does go behind your head, doesn't it? If you have really long hair, you can have it going down over your shoulders. I don't have really long hair though. And as this is me, we'll just carry on mixing our yellow and brown. You get a yellowy browny colour. There you go. That looks about right for me. Oh, I've got to do an eyebrow. Here we go. Okay. Don't want a massive one. You don't need one on that side because that's covered up by your patch. Right, we have one other thing to do. Have you noticed what colour we haven't used? If you said white, you were absolutely right. Now we're going to use our white to add some detail onto our pirate. So, if you have a bandana, like I have, we're going to add some spots. So make sure your brush is nice and dry. And then you're going to plop, plop, make it a spotty bandana. You just stand your brush on tiptoes, dot, dot, dot. And give yourself a spotty bandana. Put some on the tie as well. Brilliant. Now, that's the bandana. Look at that. Stunning. Now, we do have a pirate hat one to do. So, the pirate hat is not going to have spots. Obviously, it's going to have a skull and crossbones. So, the way we're going to do that is we're going to draw a round face first. Then I'm going to do my cross, my white cross for the crossed over bones. If you make a little blobble at the end, like the end of bones, like that. And then wash your brush off. If you do this really quickly, blob and blob. Doesn't need to look brilliant because it's just a kind of rough skull outline. Right, that is the painting bit for today. Fantastic. Looking good. All right, so what we need today is our dry painting. We need a black pen, probably a felt tip would be fine. And then we need a blank piece of paper. And the colours today are going to be red and blue because all you're going to do is paint the background for your pirate, and we're going to do a stripy background. So you choose red or blue. Let's choose red first. Here we go, and we're just going to paint stripes. It'd be nice to use a big fat paintbrush for this. It's very satisfying. Right across. Like that. You can go right to the edge if you want. If you're a grown-up watching this and you're thinking about mounting this in your classroom, what you might want to do is trim off the edge. This is an A3 piece of paper, so I trimmed off the edge and used A3 black paper to mount it. So that meant I cut off some of these funny edges where the stripes don't quite reach the edge. But, you know, I think it looks quite nice anyway with them like that. I think it looks quite characterful, and everybody does their stripes a little bit differently. It's surprising how different just a simple thing like stripes can come out. Okay, that's my red one done, sorry. Now to do the blue one. All right, stripy blue background sorted. Then I'm going to have to leave that to dry. And you need to get your dry painting and your black pen because you're going to go round the outlines of your painting, but you need to make sure it's properly dry to be doing that, otherwise your pen will be ruined. So let's leave this to dry. Okay, so for today we're going to need our pen and our scissors. So all you're going to have to do is use your pen and you're going to outline everything that you have painted. So go right over the edge of where your paint is. And if you want to add any detail, like you might want to add some eyelashes, you might want to go around the nose a little bit, you might want to go around your lips. Around the edge of your face. So you want the pen's got to be fat enough to cover up that edge. And this is really what's going to make your picture look. It's going to make it pop out from the page. There you go. Round your patch as well. Even though it's already black, you'll be surprised how much difference it makes because it neatens up the edge here. Whoops, I went a little bit too far away, so I'm just going to colour in that bit there. Round my edge here. Try not to leave any white. If necessary, you can actually go a bit on top of your paint because you're going to cut round this in a minute. Bottom of my hair. Now I want to go all the way over here, like that. And then, oh, I forgot to do the bottom of my face. There we go. Otherwise I've got no chin at all. There we go. And then last thing is to go round my bandana. Now I just left a little bit of pink there, so I'm going to colour that in. Around the top. And then round the little tie bit. And then once you've done that, see how much better that looks? It really pops out at you now, doesn't it? So then you're going to get your scissors. Now you might want to get a grown-up. Now when I did this with my class full of children, I did this cutting out bit. I didn't leave the cutting out bit for the children because I wanted to, but I got them to the black line because that gives they do it in a very characterful way. It's maybe not as regular as the way, it doesn't look half as, my one doesn't look half as good as the way they do it because they have lots of character and kind of funny quirky lines and things like that. So I cut round the edge, but you could have a go at doing it if you wanted. But you want to cut round and you want to preserve, keep that black line so that you can see that round the outside. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do that with my other pirate as well. Right, I've cut both of my pirates out, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to use a glue stick, and I'm going to stick them onto their piratey background like that. And then we'll just get the red one as well. That is our pirate self-portrait. Now I'm not going to show you what these are like finished because I don't do them half as well as my lovely class of year ones. So I'm going to show you my year one pirate portraits that look absolutely fantastic.